Welcome to the Stay or Go podcast. I have all my guests introduce themselves, so I never call them something that they don't want to be called. So who are you?
Welcome, Reed Willy. That is me.
Reed Willy. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I do this on every single musical artist episode. Reed Willy. Is that your actual legal government name?
My name is Reed William Watkins.
Okay, so it is a middle name thing.
It is a middle name thing.
Very easy.
It was like a nickname my uncle always called me.
Really?
And I hated it when I was younger. And then as
Now
I
you're
grew
using
into
it.
my artistry, I was like, it kind of rings and it's different. So
Definitely different.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone named Reed, first of all.
yeah, or Willy.
Or Willy. So that's not an insult. It does stand out, so that's good.
Nah, a bunch of friends. I remember when I first started brainstorming names. Like I went by Willful at one time with one L. and the minute I changed to Reed Willy, my friends were all like, "Are you sure about Willy?" And I was like,
Willy.
yeah, I mean, I know there could be a connotation about that, but I was like, nah, I just gotta stick with it.
Stick with it. Be confident. Yeah.
Yeah, when at this point, I've thought about changing my name a few times, but I feel like that's when you start getting into, like we were talking about, the in between stay and go. You just indecisive. And I'm like, I just gotta.
Yeah,
stay
just
with it.
gotta stay with Reed Willy. There we go. Okay, so you have a gist of the podcast. We talked about it earlier off air. So stay or go. Any type of decision, whether big or small, that you have experienced before or maybe you're in right now, right? Like for me, it could be my job. I'm trying to go from it right now, but not yet. I have to do the steps. But anyway, is there anything you can think of in particular that you've experienced with a stay or go life decision or situation?
Well, the biggest one that comes to mind is just leaving Ohio. So I grew up in Ohio.
What part of Ohio?
I grew up in Columbus. Well, it's a suburb called Westerville.
My cousin and her fiance live in Columbus. They just moved there 2 years ago. I'm curious. I don't know the exact town. She's in, oh my gosh, what school district does she work? Reynoldstown?
Yeah, Reynoldsburg.
Reynoldsburg?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that like how far from where you used to live?
I don't know, 20, 30 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so pretty
not bad.
close.
Yeah.
Cool. And so you lived there until how long? How old were you?
I mean, I left high school, so my biggest decision was either stay in Ohio, and kind of pursue that, or go off to college and come back to Ohio, or the thing that really pushed me to leave was SCAD and my desire to kind of pursue arts and fine arts, and like I said, my degree was called sequential art, so I went for like comic books and.
So yeah, SCAD stands for what? Sequential art.
No, Savannah College of Art and Design.
Oh,
is
okay.
Is the
Like,
the
what?
college.
Okay.
The reason I decided that college was because of such a specific major. So, yeah, that was my biggest decision, that I was like, okay, I gotta go. And I think a lot of my friends in Ohio just didn't have a lot of, I don't know. I don't want to say like ambition, because that sounds
passion about something.
That sounds like demoralizing.
No, it's not. It's just that they didn't know maybe at the time like you did, I guess.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of experience something outside of Ohio, and I love Ohio, but just like everything, or every time I tell someone I'm from Ohio, they're always like, "What do you do there?" And I'm like, "Exactly." I mean, I don't. You're not wrong, but
Were you surprised by my reaction? I was like, "Oh, nice, my cousins live there." That was
no,
like a
because you guys are from
positive reaction.
Pennsylvania, like
Yeah,
semi Midwest.
it's very
so,
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
that
they
was
have a
probably
bunch
a
of
big one.
headquarters there now. Like,
Oh yeah, I
they're
mean,
pretty-
there's a bunch of industries there. It's
Yeah.
just not a lot of
We're from
music and
Pennsylvania,
art.
but we're from like
Yeah,
East,
you're more like
northeast.
New England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you were in Ohio though your whole life until you left to go to Savannah.
Yeah. 18, left, went to Savannah, and then I guess the second big decision was either move back to Ohio or my parents they've been separated, so they live in two different states.
Where?
My dad lives in Illinois and my mom lives in Minnesota. So
Interesting. Very different.
Yeah, my sister lives in Salt Lake City, Utah too.
Oh my gosh.
So we're all over the place, and the other decision was, okay, do I move back to something more familiar after college, or do I kind of move towards? It was really like L.A., Atlanta, New York.
And this was because of music interest?
Because of music, Okay. Because, well, and LA had a little bit more of a draw because sequential industry is a lot of storyboarding, pre-production work.
Right.
So
you can get into kind of the movie, TV industry type stuff.
So
cool.
That was something I was considering, but then I had spent a summer in LA and I hated it. And I just was like... Wow. LA is
it's expensive, first of all.
Well, but it was just, for me, I just want to be around people and communities that kind of feel like I'm accepted and feel like I'm at home, or at least comfortable. And LA just, man,
it makes everyone feel like they're less than.
Yeah, that, and I just don't like people that I don't know. I just got a bad experience in LA. So
I think that's common. I mean, I listened to a podcast of a fitness influencer that lives in LA, and she's like, every single girl you see is so judgmental. They're so like Instagram model, all this stuff. So you feel like...
And I could deal with judgment. I just can't deal with, you're a product of your environment. So when you're around all that stuff, you just kind of start to feel out of place too. And everyone's so superficial and kind of... Yeah. Like you said, they're on a high horse, which more power to them, because in LA you kind of have to be that way. You have to fake it till you make it for real.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. I couldn't be around that energy that long.
Yeah. How did you end up doing a summer in LA? Did you know anyone out there?
Yeah, we had like a family friend that she actually had this like old school mansion.
Oh,
that was
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, but it was kind of stuck in like the 1960s. So there was no AC, there was like no Wi-Fi, like stuff like that. Wow. And
just a big open space, but didn't have anything.
Yeah, they used it a lot for movies and TV shows and photo shoots. Wow. So even when I was there over the summer, they had a couple like Vogue shot there and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It was cool, but the owner was the family friend was about 85 or so, and I don't know. It was just an experience that I'm glad I did it, but I would never do it again.
Okay. So that's a go away from LA. We're not going back there.
That was a go and stay in the same scenario. So.
Okay. So we go to Savannah for college, and you made that decision based on the specific major. Now, when did you get into art and drawing, though? How did you start with
I was always like artistic as a child, but I would just doodle all the time, and I just like it. Everyone says they have like ADHD, but I don't think it was that. I think it just like had trouble paying attention to the things that you didn't
care about, right?
Yeah, and I was just like, so in school, and I was a good student, but 9 times out of 10, I was just drawing in notepads and stuff. So I would do that all the way through like middle school, and then when I got to high school and there was actually classes for art, started taking those and just got inspired. And then when I realized there was a kind of a career path for that in this day and age, I was like, I might as well go for it. This is what I love. Yeah, and it was really between that and biochemistry. I really wanted to be a forensic scientist if I was gonna. On the other hand, and because I was really good at science and chemistry. And then I pivoted, which I think was definitely for the best. And everything happens for a reason. So,
yes, I agree.
Yeah, so that's kind of what inspired me to do art, and I just like being creative.
I need to know, what are your families, like your parents and your sisters' careers, did they influence your path at all, or were you totally left field in your family with stuff that you were interested in?
I would say I don't know. I would say, I mean, you can make your own assessment, because I think it's a blend. My father was, he was a tenor in a symphony.
Okay.
And he sang for a few years for different programs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if anyone else in your family was an artist or sang or did band stuff.
He sang, and my mom sings too, but she's more choir and
like
church
choir. Yeah.
Yep. And she plays the piano too.
Okay.
And when we grew up, we had piano lessons, but that was kind of a moot point because we learned for a while, but I hated it. So like it kind of blocked out of my memory.
Yeah.
And then my sister she went to college for geology. So she works for a like a water treatment company, or she supplies like water treatment plants with supplies and stuff. So and my father and my mother were both eventually like fundraisers, but my mom was into textiles. So she was like really wanted to get into fashion when she first like went to college, came out of college. And then she had us, and then careers changed. But so I would say kind of influence,
a
but
little bit.
Music wise, I really wasn't. I don't think I would say I was inspired by either of my, and not in a bad way, like either of my parents, because they never really showed me music. They never played music. You know, you hear a lot of artists and they talk about their childhood and, you know, all of their major influences were played by their parents. I never had that experience. No. And my dad would play like certain songs, but they were always hits, you know?
Yeah.
And they would just
like
be on the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not like, son, this is who I love. You need to listen to that.
And we never had a record player. Like, we never had, you know, any of that. So.
You just described my dad.
For real?
No.
Oh. He plays all that stuff?
You need to listen to B.B. King.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah. His dad is very passionate.
Yeah, my family would not. I don't know.
They wouldn't push anybody on.
They just didn't listen to music like that.
Yeah,
like, they just weren't in culture.
No, that's
like
my dad
culture.
too. My dad doesn't listen to music like to this day.
Yeah,
it's like just not his thing. My mom likes music, and I grew up on like country music.
Wild,
but yeah, I know music is like life. I don't understand how people don't listen.
Well, and I think the biggest thing for me that expanded my horizons was streaming. Like, I don't think I was never one to go out and get CDs.
Yeah.
And I had a CD player and a record player and everything, or not a record player, a tape cassette and CD player, and I would carry those around. I had this like yellow CD player I always had. But it was like, I listened to GreenDay, My Chemical Romance, Paramore, like kind of alternative stuff that was popping at the time. But then when I started getting into music, I really gravitated towards like R&B heavy. So that's when I started to like, I had to do research. Like, who are these people? Wow. And then all these songs that come out are samples. I'm like, I just think of them as the original song. And people are like, this is a remake. And I'm like, what do you mean it's a remake? This is... And then I go back and do research. I'm like, there's a whole history of music that I never was involved in or knew of.
Wow.
So I had to do a bunch of research in college. And I still do to this day.
Yeah. So, okay, we gotta get to college. So you're not necessarily doing your own artist stuff yet at that point.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you?
I would do small projects for people, but I wouldn't, you know.
Like what?
Well, just like commissions
feature?
And no, like artwork. I would do illustrations, paintings,
got it,
stuff like that. But it was smaller. I never really even pursued, because after college, my goal was to be a concept artist, so it would be for pre-production, and just kind of world build for video games, movies, TV shows, whatever. And then I got to sophomore year of college, because I swam in college too. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, so I swam in college, and that took up majority of my time for the first 2 years.
How long did you do? Like, did you do any competitive swimming when you were a kid or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we did. I swam since I was a little kid, but I didn't do any club or anything with my friends. I just swam for my high school, and I was just good enough to be a walk-on. And I was like, I love to swim, and I love like having a schedule too.
Right.
So I was like, routine, all right, let's go.
And it's exercise.
Yeah,
so
but it was
all the things
too much for me in college, and
I'm
I was just because I had other like goals, and I just couldn't really focus on my work. So halfway through my sophomore year, I quit swimming.
Okay.
And that's when I linked up with one of my old friends from college, and he really got me into the studio. And he was a rapper, writer, producer, and he told me one day, we worked at the gym together, and he was like, yo, just come to the studio and sing a hook for me or something. And I was like, all right, I've never done this before.
Yeah, that must be like scary at first.
Yeah.
Or did you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, he made me feel really comfortable about it, but it was really the experience. And Charles knows this is like the first time you hear yourself on a mic is like, what the
Me
fuck?
with this podcast.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, and it's just a crazy experience because you've never really, besides voicemails and I guess
videos, I guess, with your phone, but that didn't come till later.
Later, yeah, you never really experienced that, so that was the hardest thing was just hearing my voice back.
Yeah.
But you know,
but
after
you knew
a while,
at that point that you could sing.
Yeah, I could sing decently, but then again, like when you hear it back, you're like, oh, I can't sing at all.
Imposter syndrome kicks in. You're like, I actually suck. Yeah. What are you saying?
Yeah.
But okay, so you got to do something with your friend at first to get into like the singing part.
Yeah, and then I started just recording myself through college and just writing, and I didn't do nearly as much as I did after I left college, but in college was definitely my introductory, like I said, doing the research.
Is that when you made the acoustic?
I did, yeah. I made it's called Melody.
I was gonna say shout out your stuff.
Melodies to Get to You.
Melodies to Get to You.
I don't know. That was Charles likes it.
He loves it. He was talking about it.
For me, I don't know. I think it's like I'm so self-critical that skill-wise, I look back and I'm like, damn. I know I've grown so much as a vocalist that I could have, like, the songwriting is fine, but the actual performance is something that I'm not ashamed of, but it's just, you know, I've evolved from there. So I just
you just are like, this was my beginning stuff. I could do so much better.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have to ask this, and I'm not saying it in like a rude way, but I'm getting the vibe. Were you at all in a frat in college?
No, I wasn't. I was not.
No, because I was a sorority girl, so that's why I'm asking.
No, I never had that. Well, and at SCAD, I don't even think they
Did they not have them?
I think
was it a smaller school?
It was, it was. Well, and it's an art school.
Right.
They didn't have, I'm surprised they had sports.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's true. You don't think about how people can do both sports and arts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, I never was. All of my good friends from college though were. Yeah. So I've definitely been immersed in the fraternity. And I've been in that arena. Yes. But it's not for me. That was not for me for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. I was just curious. And I'm sorry if that like made you feel some type of way. But...
No.
Because some people, I wish I was in a frat or that kind of thing, and others like.
I think like in the next life, maybe I would go hard party. I don't know. I just even in college by myself, I just stuck to myself a lot, and I did not party like that and like drink through college. So,
so that came later.
Yeah, it did. It really did. When I got to Atlanta, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So you graduate from college, and you have to decide to stay in Georgia or go back home to Ohio.
Yeah, and the decision was really, I could go to Minnesota, I could go to
You had all
Illinois.
these places to go where family was.
So it was a lot, and, you know, I did a lot of job searching during that time, just trying to find something. And right after college, it was just kind of the hardest time. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, let me at least move to somewhere that I think is comfortable. And then one of my mixing engineers and producers, his name's Miles. Shout out Mileage.
Shout out.
And he was like, yo, I'm going to move up to Atlanta and, you know, just kind of do the thing. I was like, all right, I'm going to come with you. So we just like roomed together for the first couple of years.
That always helps to have somebody to be with. Like, I wouldn't have done this move by myself if it wasn't for him. Yeah. I think you would have done it by yourself if we weren't together, but I would never have moved 12 hours away from home without someone.
Well, it's just a completely different environment. And I have some family, like, not distant cousins, but I have some cousins in Alpharetta. Okay, yeah. But other than that, I had nobody. Yeah. So yeah, I moved here with him, and then, you know, first couple years, I was bartending, serving, and then making music and doing some freelance art design stuff on the side. But, yeah, that's kind of where it really started to pick up, though, when I started creating more. And, trying to hone in on a sound, and that's when my influences from Atlanta just bled into me too. Because like I had my first project was very acoustic and more singer songwriting, and then as I got to Atlanta and just really experienced and started to dip my hands into what I really enjoyed listening to, then I try to regurgitate that in my own interpretation.
Yeah.
And so that's why people, if you go through my discography, you might be like, oh, it's a complete different change.
Yeah.
But that's
everyone
why.
evolves.
So,
everyone evolves. So who are some of your musical influences now?
Well, when I first started off, like I said, it was like
Paramore.
My Chemical Romance, Paramore. Bruno Mars was honestly the first like artist who got me singing, like really trying to sing, doing covers. Jason Mraz, Andy Grammer, like those real pop artists. They got me going.
Okay.
And then when I got to Savannah and Atlanta and started really delving into that R&B genre, Bryson Tiller's forever the guy that inspired me to do and pursue music because of his story and of his authenticity, and his music just really connected with me. So that was one of my biggest influences. But then I'd say, Justin Timberlake, Brent Faiyaz.
These are all names that he has said. So he loves Bryson Tiller, Brent Faiyaz. I've heard those names from him. Otherwise, I don't know them. Otherwise, I don't know them.
Well,
but
let's
I've heard them from him.
end the podcast now.
Jenna needs to go out of her own podcast because she doesn't know.
Yeah,
that's
a go.
Yeah,
not a stay.
I'm a little embarrassed. What is Bryson Tiller's story that you were like?
Well, it's not. I mean, I really don't think it's anything crazy besides. Yeah, exactly. Besides the fact that he's just one of those that grinded hard, but he was one of those SoundCloud artists that really got popular off of one song, and he had this story that he borrowed some money, like not a large sum, from his friends just to push this song and get it produced and stuff, and it was "Don't" was the song that blew him up, and you know that song. Don't play with me, don't be dishonest. Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Nah, you would know it. You would know it.
Okay, well, you must not be doing a good enough job because I'm not getting it off of your singing.
Nah, that was beautiful.
I love you. Okay, continue.
Nah, it was and I think it was just one of those that he really came from, nothing, no association with music industry,
right?
And then all of a sudden he made this.
He didn't have connections. What's the word? What do they all call people?
Industry plants or anything?
Yeah,
or
industry plant. What's the word I'm talking about? Nepo baby. He wasn't one of those. Nepotism. Yeah. He didn't have that.
No.
Okay.
And he's just humble too. That's what the other thing is. Like, I can be inspired by people's music, but I can really only be inspired by the artist if I like them.
Amen.
Yeah. Like as a person.
Yeah. So, yeah. Not like their music. Like them as a person too.
I'm different in that respect.
Really? You can be like inspired by the music, but don't care who they are.
Think they're a horrible personality.
So you're inspired by R. Kelly is what you're saying?
No, I'm thinking of I feel like
he loves Tory Lanez.
I love Tory Lanez too. Low key. It's a hot take.
I like Playboy Cardi, and I feel like as a person, I feel like he loves his fans, but I feel like as a person, he's like, I've heard some things from engineering.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. You got to have your own experience with these people too, because you can't believe everything.
No,
and
we don't know the people because if we haven't met them, we don't truly know, right? Most of the time.
You don't know the people that are talking shit too.
Right,
like they might have had some kind of explosion that made him go off or something, So,
but like Kanye.
Yeah.
I love Kanye's music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like his music too. I don't agree with things he's saying.
But at least I feel like Kanye has always been himself. And that's the other thing that I really hate is when artists
people are fake.
Get on and then they just completely change their whole morals and who they are. Like that's what really kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So that's why I really enjoy like I said, Bryson Tiller or I don't know, just like Brent Faiyaz I love too because he's been the same way since he started. And there's a lot of artists that can change up, which I get it because once you get that fame and go LA, it's like I said, that's why a lot of people go LA. They assimilate and they become who they're around. And I can't do it. I don't like that. I like to make music. I like to make music and perform it, and I don't need the riches or the fame or anything. I'm like, bro.
So what are some projects that you might have coming out so that people who don't know you, because most of the listeners are my family and friends, or what do you have coming out so people can check it out?
So upcoming is Drop Dead Gorgeous Volume 3. So I've done
Gorgeous.
Usually I drop these around October, around Halloween. So that was the kind of concept. I've done obviously 2 before. So check those out if you haven't. Both of those are smaller though, so they're going to be like 4 or 5 songs. This one's going to be a full-length project. I wouldn't quite call it an album, but it is a full project. Full of songs of the last 2 years. So I've been sitting on some of these songs for a little too long, and there's a lot of things that I want to leave in 2023, and this is one of them. So it's like, I'm excited to get this project out. I'm excited it's getting polished. I'm excited Charles is on it. Shout out Charles and Lil Smoke and Dunna. They're all going to be on the project featured.
Great.
Yeah, and that does not have a date yet, but it will be before the year's up. Yeah,
will be before, probably right around when this episode drops, because it's going to be towards the end of December, so that works out.
Exactly. I actually timed it that way perfectly.
Yeah. Intentionally. And then I feel like Nate was telling me earlier that do you also do other things besides, that sounds terrible. What else do you do music-wise? Do you do any mixing or producing or mastering? Or?
I just started getting into production this year. So like this project I have coming up, I have produced 3 of the songs.
Okay.
So I just started to get into that. I have 2 other projects that are kind of in the works, and one of them is going to be fully self-produced. So
awesome.
I just started working in that. I have a lot of work to do when it comes to engineering and mixing, so that's why I rely on my good friends to do a lot of that.
It's not fun. I rely on my good friend here to do my mixing for this podcast.
It's fun when you're good at it, but if you're not good at it, it's not fun.
It takes a lot of practice. Yeah.
So I don't musically, and I play a little guitar and piano, just as sonically I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I love writing, so.
I think I remember now. Do you do graphic design because you were an artist and did stuff like that?
Yeah, that was kind of the default. So I work I do graphic design and I do freelance design too. Just kind of really whatever, design and fine art. So I've done. My fault.
You're good.
I've done like painting commissions. I'm doing like a storefront right now, just designing a storefront, and I work for. I do like club flyers and stuff like that. So
how can people check out your storefront, or am I not understanding how that works?
Well, that's for someone. So I'm designing it for someone.
Okay.
Honestly, I want people to focus on the music. So
don't look at any of his art.
No, I love my art, but I think that's more of like a niche thing, and I have some ideas coming for that. And I think music is what I really want to pursue and at least get my foot on the ground when it comes to making a name for myself. And then all the art and design I think is going to fall in line soon after.
Okay. Yeah. You get all of it.
But if you want to check it out, faetae.com is where I have my portfolio. It's faetae.com.
Okay, great.
So if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Some stuff. So.
Christmas is coming.
That's
it would actually be late, probably.
But any paintings, illustrations of your family or dogs or cats. We don't discriminate.
That's cool. I'm going to go check it out after this.
I need to update it, but there's some stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I know you did your cover art, but I didn't know that
there was like painting.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing is the industry kind of pushes you into graphic design
because you have to do it.
Shit is. Yeah. So it's like I really wouldn't like. I like graphic design because it's taught me a lot about layout and composition and stuff like that. Yeah. But I really wanted to just do like illustration, like I said, concept design, fine art stuff.
Yeah.
And I really love painting, so I love that
so
too.
Cool.
But that's just not as lucrative.
Yeah.
So
I've never been an artist in any way. Painting, drawing. I don't know if you. I draw stick figures for like humans. I can't draw things.
Scholarship in high school.
He was really good at drawing.
Congressman, like my
you won some like award or something.
I gotta see that.
Did you ever win like an art contest?
No, I don't think I ever. I had a couple like, I was not. Well, I just wasn't. Like, looking back at my art, I just wasn't good in high school. Like, I didn't get good until college. Wow. And when I was really...
When you were studying it.
Well, it wasn't even studying. It was just a repetition. Like, when I would just love to draw, and I knew I had a passion for it. But during high school, I was just more focused on girls too much and sports. And I just, when I had free time, that's when I would draw or something. Yeah. But then in college, it was just like the repetition of it I just got so much better. So no, I did not win.
Yeah, okay.
and for good reason. So
yeah, okay. So you're like fair.
Yeah, exactly. That was a go or a stay. That was a stay.
So getting into that, I have our little end of the pod, if that's okay with you. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted
to see what
we came up with? So this is the little, again, just rapid fire, stay or go. But then we can explain why. But just your initial thought when you hear it. Chris Brown, stay or go?
Okay, hold on. Let me clarify. I'm just clarifying.
That's good.
Go is a yes, correct? Okay.
No, not in this.
Okay, so stay is like,
I want this to stay forever. I love it.
Got you. I just wanted to clarify that before I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's a great question.
So I might have been saying that backwards this whole podcast, but
that's okay. That's okay.
That is a stay.
So Chris Brown is a stay because why?
I would just art, because that's just where I want to stop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I love. From the jump, he's been one of my favorite artists, big inspiration. But then he also is an artist, and he's also a fine artist, like spray painting, his style, his aesthetic, I love. So
cool. Yeah. All right. That's all.
He does all that.
Yeah. Crazy. He's got
good person to pick for the.
Yeah. he got this house. That's like, when he bought it, I'm pretty sure it was all like blank. It was just like a white.
Wow.
And throughout his, last few years of him living there, he'll spray paint the whole thing. And he's brought in like dope artists to help him. And so the whole house is just becoming a giant
creative,
mural.
like, yeah.
I picked that because when Matt actually showed me your music before I even moved here.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that boy, he the white Chris Brown.
Have you ever gotten that before?
No, I really haven't. Not Chris Brown. Yeah, obviously I'll get the JT and I'll get the, I don't know. Oh, shout out Jameson, bro. Just pause for a second. Because I went to his concert on Tuesday, and that was one of the best concerts, and he's one of my biggest inspirations. No, he played that shit. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal, bro.
You'll have to
next
show
time
him.
he comes, we gotta go. We'll go. Because that shit was amazing.
Do you have any pics or vids to show him?
I do. I do have plenty.
My favorite artists, like most streamed artists of like 2020.
Yo, yeah. So shout out him, because I totally forgot to say that when you had mentioned inspiration.
Yeah, that's okay. Comes back around. Yeah. You said JT, so I'm gonna say boy bands, stay or go.
I'm going to say go. Unless the boy band came up together and you guys are actually friends and make music together because you love to, go. Because then it's just unauthentic, and I feel like you brought people together to monetize off of, in my opinion.
Because I'm thinking of One Direction, because they are a boy band that came about from the X Factor.
Yeah, exactly. They just picked them and put them together.
But I love them, and they were amazing. But now it's just Harry, really.
It's completely different. Oh, I love Zayn though.
Oh,
I gotta say, I really like Zayn.
Okay, you're a Zayn stan. Yep. All right, but go boy bands.
Stay with Zayn.
Go away boy bands. Yeah. Stay Zayn.
Yeah, I can't. I'm okay on boy bands.
Okay. Sandy Springs, stay or go?
I would stay. I think there are definitely parts of, like, Sandy Springs is probably the most accessible when it comes to the city, but it also, for me personally, is just calm and very like suburban in a way, but I'm not too far from anything. So I would stay.
That's what I loved about it, but we do see how much calmer it is where we are now versus where Sandy Springs is. But I do miss the MARTA because it's so easily accessible to get to anywhere in the city.
Now, I used MARTA for the first year and a half here. I didn't have a car for my first year and a half, and I was like,
shout out MARTA.
No, for real. For real.
Stay.
Stay on MARTA.
Stay on the MARTA. Just be careful at night and weird hours. Trader Joe's. Stay or go?
For sure stay. So, Trader Joe's has all the good little like things that you didn't know you wanted.
So I was like surprised by that because he made this. I have no idea why. Why did you say Trader Joe's for him?
He lives in you live near Sandy Springs. So
that's it.
There's a few Trader Joe's over there.
So did he ever talk about loving or going to Trader Joe's? You were just like, oh, okay.
Trader Joe's. Tell a lot about people
from the grocery store.
Based on the grocery store they go to.
No, well, I really go to Fresh Market a lot. That's where I've started getting a lot of my stuff.
Know what that is? We're like Aldi people over here.
Oh, well, you also, I feel like Fresh Market. Well, I don't know. I don't know how like regional Fresh Market is.
Yeah. Oh, I just don't know what it looks like. I guess I don't know the logo.
Looks like Sprouts, but it's more
okay.
Like it is kind of like a Trader Joe's in a sense, but it has...
I would say it's like you said, Sprouts. I would say more it's like Sprouts,
Okay.
But so it's just like, fresh
organic
stuff,
good, healthy stuff.
Yes.
Fresh Market's a go for me though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid expensive.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I know like Sprouts and Whole Foods is like, super expensive.
If like I'll usually just get produce and meat because their meat actually there is not.
It's not expensive.
It's not expensive.
It's like good.
The meat is really
quality.
good. The meat, the produce, that's what I'll get. But if you try to get like a jar of peanut butter at Fresh Market, it's literally $10. You go to Kroger, it's like $4.
Yeah.
And you're like, but it's the same product. It's Jif.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Wow, that's wild.
But
I hate that.
For Trader Joe's, they have all their like. I just love the, what am I trying to say? The originality of it, like everything is so you can't find that shit anywhere besides Trader Joe's.
It's very unique, yeah.
So I'm cool with that. And people at Trader Joe's, I've never had bad service.
So
at Trader Joe's.
Nice, yeah. I've only been a couple times when we lived in Sandy Springs on Roswell Road.
We get into this weekend.
You have a whole conversation.
Yeah, they're so nice though. Okay, moving on. From grocery stores. Now we're getting into the late night stuff.
We love grocery
What you're really getting into on the weekend. 4 a.m. closing times at the bars. Stay or go?
Go. I would definitely go. I feel like when I bartend. And I've been bartending.
That's how I knew that was the reason why he put that on.
And I'll bartend on the weekends. And we got to make this bread somehow. Mm-hmm. And I think when I first started, I didn't mind. But then now as time has gone on, I'm like, there's just nothing. And my dad says this all the time. Nothing good happens after midnight.
Yeah.
And in Atlanta, it's like, I would say it's
Times
1 o'clock.
10.
Yeah. But like after 1 o'clock, there's just nothing good happens. So, and every time I'm out, I'll always be, I'll be going until about 1:30, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta go home. So yeah, 3 and 4 closing times, unless it's a strip club, I'm gone.
How many strip clubs in Atlanta have you been to?
I honestly haven't been to that many. I would say 4, 5.
Ooh.
4.
And do you have like one that
Onyx.
you want? Okay, I was gonna say shout
out. Go to
Onyx.
Onyx.
Where is it? Downtown?
Shout out all the lovely ladies that work at Onyx. We love you.
He's single, ladies. Onyx. So where is that? Is it downtown?
Onyx is, no, I mean, no, it's like, what is that location called? Bridge, something Bridge.
Bridge, God, I don't know.
Cheshire Bridge?
Why don't I just look it up?
Something like that.
How do you spell Onyx? I don't even know.
Onyx.
Okay.
We're near Blue Flame.
Onyx is 14 miles from here.
My friends like it a lot.
Adult entertainment venue. It says Cheshire Bridge.
Yes,
it's Atlanta, Georgia. Yes.
So it's off Cheshire Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only been there one time, but it was a great experience.
I've never been to a strip club, so I have no idea what to expect.
Okay.
Stay.
That's a big stay. Like I would honestly like move in, stay. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
That nice.
That would be kind of creepy though.
No, you're not gonna do that. I'm sure the girls would be happy.
Just like have a little like sleeping bag on the side. Don't mind me. I'm just sleeping here.
Yeah.
Until the shift starts.
Wait. So you don't have to shout out the place that you bartend at, but is it like, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it an Atlanta local restaurant, or is it like a chain, or okay?
No. It's in Buckhead. Okay. And I mean, it's just one of the. There's a plethora of bars and clubs in Buckhead, but it's true. It's a true club. It's not really like a. It's not really a restaurant. Lounge or a bar. Yeah, we have no food.
Okay. Yeah. And how long have you been working there?
Too long. Yeah, but I would say 3 years. And the thing is, we're only open on the weekends, so it's not a lot off time wise and commitment wise. So it's not huge. Yeah. And that's why I've kind of stayed for so long. If it was anything else, I would have been. Yeah. Yeah, I would have. I would have blown my brains out already.
You would have gone if it was all sweet.
I would have gone for sure.
I didn't mean it like. Yeah, dead. But I meant gone.
I didn't really mean it like dead either.
But
it just gets so like I told you, I'm not a big partier, and I'm not like when I do go out, I do it judiciously, and I'm like, okay, I'll party this day, but I cannot do it consistently. Right. So I'll like.
Can't do it consecutive days in a row.
No, I cannot.
Need to rest.
At all.
Need to recover.
See, and that's the frat that's not in me.
Right.
My frat brothers can do that.
Exactly.
My homies that are in frats.
Yeah. No, I know what you meant. Yep. Awesome. Okay. I am drawing a blank right now. I had questions. I wrote down questions. We're almost done, but I had stuff I wanted to make sure I brought up.
This is a lot less stressful because there's a camera, but it's like not, like you said, you're not.
Right. It's not the whole thing.
The last time I did a podcast, it was like, we were all lined up. We had 2 cameras on us. Like, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Do you want to shout out the podcast that you were on? Did you enjoy your interview in that or no?
Honestly, no, I did. We had a good experience. It was me. It was one of my friends had known about it. I just am drawing a blank on 26th floor. I really am so.
Check it out. Look it up.
I'm so sorry. I really have no idea if that's okay. Even the name of it.
That's okay. Okay, I had this. I already asked this.
But they're dope. So if you find them.
Yeah, if you find it, 26th floor. I think I asked you all of these. So the only thing I have left that I didn't ask you is where can people find you online?
So Reed Willy is everything. I have my music website is reedwilly.com. Instagram handle is at reedwilly _. So REEDWILLY _. I don't have Twitter. Cause I don't like to talk too much.
It's annoying.
I don't have a TikTok either.
Oh wow!
I might get one. We'll see.
You might have to. No, he told me I had to get one for this podcast, so I did.
You will, and I will too. Unfortunately, it's just the.
That's the game right now.
Yeah.
People will stress about it, but you really gotta just find your niche.
Exactly.
You don't gotta be Charlie D'Amelio.
No. I can't.
I feel like that's the hardest part for me is trying to find how to present myself without feeling like I'm presenting myself like everyone else. Right. And so that's where I always have that trepidation.
It found me.
Oh, it did? Well, you started doing Reels first, didn't you?
No, they were TikToks first. Not Reels on Instagram. That's what he means, I think.
No, I did Reels first.
Yeah, that's
really?
what I thought. You started doing Reels.
You know him
first.
better than I do.
Facts.
But I went crazy on TikTok.
He did. That's what I know.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Like every day.
7K, followers.
He posted a video every single day for 6 months. Yeah. Which is insanity. No one has time for that. I don't have time.
Bro, well, but that's the thing is for us as musicians, for us as musicians, for me, I can't get into you were saying earlier, talking
into the camera.
Yeah,
it's so awkward. I don't do it either.
But I feel like for females, it's way easy. Maybe I'm generalizing, but for musicians, if I'm just trying to push the music and not my personality, and I want you to see my personality through music or forms like this, I don't know like there's only so much content I can do before I'm pushing one song, and you're like, okay, I'm over this song,
right?
Or maybe that's just how I interpret it as a consumer.
Yeah.
But like my ex, she has like 150K on TikTok.
That's insane.
And she just can post anything, bro,
and it'll go viral.
And it's fine, and it's like so.
And I'm not so.
And she loves it.
I was gonna say, is there anything specific? Did she have a niche at all, or no? Like she just
it was
posted...
me.
Really? His videos of you, like shit my boyfriend does, or like
it was
what?
like it was like us, us together,
couple stuff.
Yeah.
So does that stuff make you sad to look back at?
No, that's also part of the reason why I don't have a TikTok. Because I know she's just so viral, like, or she can go
that she's
viral.
Probably talking
that I'll
shit
see
now.
it. Well, I don't even mind talking shit because that makes me feel better about the situation, but that makes it easier, honestly. But it's like if she posts or if I come across another post that's like us, that's when I'm like, I don't want to see this.
How long were you together?
3 years.
Did you meet in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's my little Atlanta boo.
No longer.
It's okay. She taught me a lot, though.
That's
it's
good.
All love.
It all happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
We learn from people. It's all good.
Yeah. No, everyone's putting your path for a reason. So
exactly.
No, there's no ill will, nothing like that.
No hate necessary.
No.
Love that. Okay, so thank you so much, Reed.
Thanks
Willy,
for having me.
For coming on the Stay or Go pod. This was fun.
Everyone checks out the pod
and
enjoys it. And check out Drop Dead Gorgeous Volume 3 coming soon. Yes, check it out. With Charles a special Infamous. Guest that you guys know. Engineer. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. She hit me with the yellow lights. You wanna act like I don't know about it, baby, that's alright. Should I stay, should I go? I don't know if you bout it, baby, guess that's life. Said we can never get that right. I'm thinking that you love me, but you don't really want me. Like, should I stay, should I go?